Good morning, friends. Today we are going to continue with Basic Spoken English Day 2. Friends, however knowledgeable one is, however knowledgeable you are, however skilled you are, but if you are not able to have a very good communication skill, you always will be rated as a very low skilled intellectual, because language now has been serving more as a skill rather than a language. Most of us believe that only one language communication is not enough for influencing the society. You need to have at least bilingual competency or bilingual communication skill. What I mean to say, that besides communicating in your mother tongue or any other regional language, it is important to communicate in English at a level of intellect. So the spoken English becomes very imperative for every educated Indian, particularly for those technocrats, particularly for those skilled students who are willing to go or who are aspiring to have good jobs in corporate sectors. Friends, the first day I talked about the common spoken, very simple present use of simple present tense in day-to-day spoken English. Today we shall continue the same. That means use of simple present and present continuous together. How we can really create a beautiful conversation, how we can create a beautiful dialogue, how we can speak in an effective manner, how we can convince the audience. See, there are four situations where simple present can be frequently used. The one is habitual action. Say, for example, you are sitting in a hotel and the very five-star hotel, and the waiter comes and says, please sir, what would you like to have, tea or coffee? You will just say, well, I would prefer to take coffee to tea. That means you are using a word prefer, which creates an impression. So the same thing in simple present can be spoken. I prefer tea to coffee. I don't prefer coffee to tea. I prefer tea to coffee. Then the conversation about any political or any discussion takes place. Most of the sentences are habitual actions that we generally speak. Like, I I generally get up early in the morning. I attend my office regularly at 9 o'clock. I come back at 5 o'clock. Then I do some office work, and then I go for recreation, and that is habitual action. You often like to read books, you often like to interact on internet. That are habitual action. The second action that we often talk about in simple present is universal truth, or rather you can say scientific facts. Like, you can say that when a magnet comes in close contact of a magnetic substance, it attracts it. That it attracts it is a scientific fact. Similarly, water boils at 0 degrees Celsius at STP. It is also a scientific fact. Then come to the third one, a reference to future time. Many of the people who are not in skilled use of languages, they often use simple future tense to refer to future time. But the beauty in spoken English lies using simple present tense to refer to future time. For example, if somebody is saying that, well, I have made a plan, I will go to USA after a week. The same thing can be say, well, I have made a plan, I just go to USA next week. Well, hurry up. The film starts in an hour time. Well, rush to the spot. The match begins shortly. Well, she settles in United Kingdom in a year time. So these are the sentences which speaks of reference to future time. The actions are taking place in future, but you are using simple present. It's in the similar manner. All verbs of perceptions are used in simple present tense. People who do not have the understanding, they often use continuous tense with the verbs like know, imagine, think, yes, remember, forget. All these are the verbs of perception. Perception means we have sense organs, the whatever like you cannot say that I'm seeing you, you just see I see you. You can't say that I'm remembering your name. I just say I remember your name. Don't say that this house is measuring 12 meter by 10 meter. Always say this house measures. All verbs of perceptions, all verbs of measurements are expressed in simple present tense. Friends, you can just make a beauty of the sentence saying that, well, I do understand your point of view. I do analyze what you have said. I do, measure the length of your arguments. I do agree with you, or I agree with you. So this is the third one, that is the use of verbs of perception. Then there are certain verbs which are never used in continuous tense, like imagine. What are you imagining now? Wrong. What do you imagine now? What are you thinking? Wrong. What do you think now? Have you forget? Are you forgetting my name? No. Do you forget my name? Always use verbs of perception in simple present tense. Then come to continuous, present continuous. See, when an action is going on at the time of speaking in the present, it is called present continuous. For example, at the moment I'm recording a video on, basic spoken English. At the moment I'm dealing with the different uses of simple present tense. In the same way, we can use simple present and present continuous together. Like you can say that when you are talking to somebody on any current affairs, you can say that these days the country is facing the dilemma of tariff imposed by USA. Well, we don't think this is going to work in favor of India, because the highest tariff has been imposed by USA on India, particularly on Indian goods, which is going to affect our, I mean, business. So, in the similar manner, we can say that the world economic scenario is changing drastically. This is because all the countries now think of benefiting their own self. They don't want that the other countries should benefit with their resources. So they often impose certain, condition restrictions. Particularly USA imposes, highest tariff on India, and this is not agreeable to Indian, foreign department or finance department. We are highly opposed to the tariff that USA has imposed, and this appears that USA is having, you know, mm, an eye on our development, and it doesn't want that we should progress economically. This is the reason why USA has imposed high tariff. Similarly, we can use present continuous in the thing that the climatic changes we experience or perceive day by day, in many that results in flood and many cyclonic incidents in India, abroad. We can see cyclonic effect in our neighboring country China, Pakistan, and all other countries. We find certain climatic changes in our country also. Even in the month of October, it rains sometimes very heavily and creates flood-like situation. So it affects our people, and we often face the challenges of sudden, cyclonic changes, sudden, wind and rain that affects our life. So we can use all this. Now, when you are questioning in present tense, it is a beautiful thing to use do, does plus subject plus V1 plus subject plus complement plus question mark. Like, don't you think that the tariff imposed by USA on India is justified? Do you realize the coming I mean era will be dominated by AI, artificial intelligence? Do you really experience there is a radical change in the perception of the people? Don't you feel that the things which we are doing is in our favor? Do you really ever think that the people's way of living has changed? Do you ever realize the importance of modifying certain habits? Do you really give importance to your day-to-day happenings? Do you really get updated with the latest incidents taking around you like that? Similarly, using negative sentence, I don't think you are right on the track. I think you are deviated from the fact. Well, I don't think you are talking logically. Well, I do think we are moving fast. We are moving ahead in economic sectors. I do think the election in Bihar is going to make a change in the scenario, present political scenario, like that. So we are using these beautiful words, simple present and present continuous, to create a good conversation, to create a good talk, and to speak effectively and impressively, just for making ourselves skilled in communication. And that is what I wanted to emphasize. This was the second series on basic spoken English. Thank you. Have a nice morning.